What's good, y'all? Big Polly, political. It's at Polly Switzerland on X. Follow me, all of that. I'm here with my boy Nunzio right now.
Peace.
You know what I mean? He know the real me, but we disguised up for the joint right now. You know what I'm saying? Don't be scared. I ain't gonna do nothing to nobody. You know what I mean? But introduce yourself, sir.
They call me Nunzio, real name Rashid Goodlow, engineer, artist, technical director of production events. Do a lot of things, mostly musical though.
No doubt. And you are relevant to the discussion because where did you used to work at?
At Daddy's house. That's how I first got started officially in the music business.
Okay. Daddy's house is, for those that don't know, that is one of Diddy's first studios, correct?
See, yes. Actually, it was his first studio.
His first studio.
Personal one. That's why it's called Daddy's house. Puff Daddy, Daddy's house. You know, everybody calls him Diddy now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more of the Puffy guy.
Okay, you know him as Puffy from back then.
Puff, yeah.
Puff, okay. And what was the like dynamic between your relationship at the time?
Oh, he owned the studio. I was a assistant engineer, moved up to engineer, but I was there. I've recorded most of the artists that were on Bad Boys, at least from '95 to 2000. That's when I worked there. So, you know, everybody, Big, DeMace, Lil Kim, Faith, you name it, right? It was people's.
That's crazy. That's a lot of history right there.
Yeah, it's a beautiful time. It was a beautiful time.
Yeah.
Can't front.
You know, there's a lot of accusations being made about the gentleman on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever witness anything, the type of stuff that he's being accused of right now, back then?
Not firsthand.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I will say, where you know, you're in the music industry, there is a whole nother side to it,
Mm-hmm.
which is more on the gangster side.
Mm-hmm.
But I wouldn't say that he personally was involved
Okay.
in any of these things. You know, disputes happen, people get into fights, things
Okay.
happen. You know, but
You never saw him involved.
I never saw him personally do anything.
Okay.
I had an incident where I was pistol whipped in the studio because by a certain producer that I work with. I'm gonna leave it. You know, I'm not even gonna get into it.
We gonna
It's
talk.
just,
We gonna talk.
Yeah, we gonna personally
we
talk
gonna
about
have
that.
to- Yeah.
But it definitely happened, and he pulled me in his office and was like, "Yo, like, I'm sorry that happened to you. It'll never happen again. Like, you have nothing to worry about." Not like he was gonna kill dude or nothing like that, but he was like, "You never gonna see that dude here again. Like, he's banned from the studio, etc. And you know, people gonna get what they deserve for violating my space like that." You know what I'm saying? So I will say that's probably
He held you down in that spot.
he held me down. He was just like, "Yo, I don't want you to be afraid or worry about nothing. You know, I want you to know, like,
Yeah.
that
And I know
dude
this
is not
guy.
getting
He's
away
a
with it."
peaceful dude. He's really on his music game. You know, making his money, trying to do what he do. You know, I know him in real life. You feel me? He's not about that type of situations. That's why I'm mad it took all these years for me to hear this story. To be honest with
I
you.
know. You'll hear the detailed story. I'll
Yeah,
definitely do that
man.
for
What?
you. Yeah, that shit happened to me, and it was bugged out. But at the same, it never stopped me from not going to the studio
Okay.
and working there. You know what I mean? Like, honestly, there's so many stories I've heard about artists wilding out in the studio on like assistant engineers, etc. down the line. You know what I mean? So this is something that typically happens.
Did you ever see any progress in that guy's career after that?
Yeah. It wasn't him that did it personally. It was his bodyguard. You feel me?
What?
That's what I'm saying. The bodyguard, because we got into an argument. So I lift my hands up. The bodyguard came, and I didn't know he hit me with the gun until I was like, "Oh shit, I'm bleeding." You know what I mean? But the whole thing is, it just escalated because I raised my hand. People ain't used to me like raising my voice or getting mad. So when I did it, you know, he was like, "Oh shit," which made his bodyguard be like, "Yo, he's just trying to do his job." But motherfucker, like this motherfucker's like
so it wasn't the artist himself.
It wasn't the artist.
Okay.
Producer actually, but it wasn't the producer. It was his bodyguard, just acting out of line, trying to, you know, impress
the guy.
Exactly, his boss.
That's unfortunate. So let me ask you, like, people submitted questions. If there was a situation like where you did know something about the type of things that Little Rod is accusing Diddy of and stuff like that, do you think you would feel unsafe?
What?
Like if you had knowledge of the things that he's talking about, like firsthand knowledge.
Nah, I wouldn't.
Nah.
I don't. You know, I feel like you have to personally do something to a person to put yourself in harm's way. You know what I'm saying? Now, when you work in these places, there are stories that should just be like left alone and in the cut. Like you were privy to some things you probably shouldn't have seen or been a part of, but you were there. And honestly, as long as it ain't nothing like crazy, dude, like you talking like rape and shit, like that's like, you know what I'm saying? That's different.
You already know.
Exactly. Like you talking about seriously violating a person. You talking about getting into a fight, argument, like, and shit pop off. That's different. But like if you talking like rape, like a setup to assault somebody, things of that nature, I feel like, you know, you don't want you might feel like you'll be threatened. I personally wouldn't. You know what I'm saying? But like I that's the only thing that would make me. If I was privy to those things, you know what I'm saying? But I wasn't. You know, I haven't seen any such actions.
Or even heard anything to that effect?
Nah, not to that effect.
Okay.
You know, people will always make suggestions, but you always got to ask the deeper questions. And when you ask the deeper questions, you're like, okay, so you don't really know. You know what I'm saying? You just reaching, pretty much.
So, somebody wanted me to ask you, do you have any video footage from back then?
No, I don't. I mean, honestly, that wasn't, we didn't have phones with cameras and shit like that, so no. Like
what year was that when you was?
So I started in 95. Okay. And went all the way to 2000.
And what exact projects did you work on while you was there?
Shit, like everything that came out from 95 on, pretty much. That up. Like, there was Big, his last album. I definitely did a lot of songs on that. Only got credit for like 2 songs, I believe, on the actual album. But like every song he recorded in Daddy's house, I was like a part of. Okay. Black Rob was the most involved because I knew Black Rob, and we was peoples. Black and you know, Harv Pierre, I got to thank him because he let me be creative and basically a part of that record. You know what I mean? So, you know, that was my man. Definitely G-Dap, Lil' Kim, Faith, Total. Wow. You know, and then you get the side stuff. Like I got to meet Public Enemy in the studio. So Chuck D and Flavor Flav, that was dope. Working with Hank Shockley and them. That was amazing. You know, definitely rewires your brain when you work with these cats. You know, and then all the way to so many, dude. Missy Elliott even. Yeah, I think Busta was probably one of my favorite people in there. He used to call me Dreadlocks. I used to have dreadlocks, so he used to call me Dreadlocks, which I always thought was like fantastic. But even down to Butterfly from Diggable Planets. Yeah. He came in as a producer. So you meet all the ghostwriters and all of that stuff too. So it's very interesting. Mark Curry, another one. Dope dude, you know what I'm saying? So on down the line to all of the producers, Stevie J, you know, D. Angeletti, on down the line, bro.
Damn. That's a lot of history, B. I imagine we had no camera rolling in the
I mean, if phones was doing that back then, I'd have a lot, you know what I'm saying? I got a couple of pics. The birthday pic for Biggie, that comes out every year with the Puff holding the cake, happy birthday. Like I'm in that photo. You know what I'm saying? That was during the total
I'm
video.
gonna put that up on the screen for y'all so y'all can see what picture he talking about. I was on Matt Hopper's podcast when he just interviewed DJ Vlad. DJ Vlad catching flack right now. He did something dumb. I seen it that morning on the app, and I was like, damn, bro. But anyway, the reason I'm taking a little bit different approach than everybody else that's covering this Diddy stuff is because of what I heard Mav say to me that day. We spoke on the phone a little bit early in the day, you know what I'm saying? And I pulled up. It was a point where he stopped and like looked to the side of the camera, and he was like,
everyone's fighting to do the first Diddy documentary, which is crazy.
It's gonna be nasty.
I want to say,
It's gonna be nasty work.
yeah, for the people on Twitter who, when I declined speaking on this topic without sufficient information, they said that I was trying to defend something. What you guys don't understand is for any successful black man, this is like a warning sign. This is like a, yo, be careful out there. And for all you guys, everybody in the hip hop community who's jumping all over this shit, speculating. I'm seeing blogs going up every day with misinformation, shit that's no place else. Everybody's trying to be first with the weirdest story that they can come up with. My fear for speaking on something that I know nothing about and that a man hasn't been charged with is that one day you motherfuckers might try to do this shit to me.
Word. That's the internet era for you, bro.
And that scares the fuck out of me.
That's the first jury we go through.
That you motherfuckers will decide on who's guilty and who's not before everything is laid on the table. And that is disturbing. It's disturbing. If you truly look at certain people as, okay, this person is a great musician, love them for that. But let's stop trying to, have this fucking witch hunt every time a successful black man is accused of something or whatever. Let's wait just a little, just wait until there's actually a fucking conviction before you motherfuckers start dragging the nigga.
Or at least until you hear the evidence.
It's fucking scary for the rest of us. We're scared of our own people at this point. Like, what are you motherfuckers gonna sit back and be like, you know what? Mav got a good podcast. Fuck that nigga. You know what I'm saying? I think that nigga's this. And then the story just spreads and you guys just keep running it. What the fuck?
There's no indictments, whatever yet. And y'all already, this is the gist of what he was saying. Y'all already crucifying him. And like, he like, yo, it's only a matter of time before y'all do that to me. Now I can't personalize the Diddy thing, but Math is my boy.
Yes.
So now I'm personalizing this like, wait a minute, he's absolutely right. This is another black man being accused of something that hasn't been indicted yet, and the culture has already shifted to saying no Diddy and all kind of stuff like that,
for real.
with
My
no indictment on the table.
Yeah.
So it's that's kind of why I'm taking a little bit different approach, because we don't know until they you know what I mean?
So this is why I agreed to do this video with you. So I'm gonna just tell you from how my perspective of the whole thing is, right? So you saw Cat Williams do his whole thing.
Yes.
He's like, there's this secret society and all this, and you get inducted into it, etc. I'm gonna tell you, I don't even know if Puff went that way, right? Mm-hmm. But that's what it seems like, right? You become a billionaire. I don't think you can become a billionaire without being part of the upper echelon of society that's pretty much hidden. You know what I'm saying? To our eyes. Mm-hmm. However, I know when he started out where his heart was. It was definitely like, I'm bringing on my peoples. We're gonna make this music. We're gonna make this money. And I also saw his disappointment from bringing people in, and you go to the office and cats got their feet up on tables smoking weed in the office. This is, and weed wasn't legal back then. So you literally walk in bad boy offices and it smells like weed. The dudes that's supposed to be working is just chilling and doing all this. He'll walk in, and these are two specific instances. He got the brand new Benz. Dudes is like, oh, what's up? Like, yo, what kind of car am I gonna get? Like, all this. He came in with a fur. Yo, where's my fur? You know what I
These are
mean?
employees of Bad Boy?
These are, they're employees, but also people that came up with him. So they all like, oh, you got all this money, you making, like, where's mine? But it's like,
But he is feeding them.
he is. He's giving you the opportunity to work these jobs and make that money.
Yeah.
But dudes is just like, yo, like, hand that over. You know what I'm saying? And I think that really disappointed him. And that causes a separation. Now, there's people that held it down for him and earned their keep. You know, D-Dot is definitely one of those people.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But it's like, when you go there, you know how it is. You got your best friend, and if your best friend disappoints you, it's like, yo, if I bring you into the office of my boss and like I'm trying to help you elevate, and then you do a bunch of dumb shit and then fuck my image up in front of other people, I'm gonna be pissed off about it, and I don't know if I can fuck with you. And I think that's what happened with a lot of the people that he brought up. So once that happens, now all these other people will be getting up in your ear. Oh, this is what you did. It's usually Caucasian people. And now they talking about you need to do this with your money. You need to not invest in that, invest in this. And then they taking control of your money, but they making you money. You know what I mean? Every move they telling you to make is actually making you richer. So if you're geared towards that life and that money, you're gonna listen to these Caucasian dudes, and you're not gonna fuck with the people that you was trying to hook up, and the people that'll snap you back into reality. Like, yo, you might not want to do that. You know what I'm saying? So in all business, unfortunately, like, the heart is not really involved in businesses. They always tell you that. So there's things that happen where it's like, yo, like, you have no conscience or something, you know what I mean? And you do fucked up shit. But this is also the way most people benefit and become rich to billionaires, or wealthy, I should say.